Welcome to the 2023 Economic Depression and Recession Show. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me for this brief Sunday update, November 5th, 2023. First of all, we're going to be talking about the jobs report that came out last week. As you know, the October job report showed a slowing down of the economy adding jobs. Only 150,000 jobs are added overall in October. The good news is that we're still adding jobs. We haven't gone negative yet for this economy. And the good news is that the places where it's adding jobs, as you can see in this chart provided by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, is in healthcare, social assistance, government, construction, and leisure and hospitality. So the economy is humming along nicely. We added a couple of, like I said, 150,000 jobs, but where we lost jobs was in transportation and warehousing, manufacturing, 35,000 jobs, and that is going to be continuing to go on the negative side. This is dangerous. We don't have manufacturing. We're losing jobs in transportation as well. Even with the auto deal coming up, the UAW and the auto workers worked out a deal, but we're losing that, and also information services. They lost 9,000 jobs. Tech. So that's not a good sign. But the good news is, like I said, is that we are gaining jobs in healthcare and social assistance as the baby boomer population ages, as more people retire from government, they add jobs, construction, with the housing, still housing and apartment. Mostly multi-story, multi-family apartment and townhome condominium construction that is accelerating this, and especially in the urban areas with the gentrification of some of these cities. So that's adding jobs. And in leisure and hospitality, as people, the media claims that people came out of the pandemic spending more money on travel, either international or locally. 19,000 jobs are cruising on the cruise ship. So this is what we're adding to jobs, and we're going to continue to see that go. But with plant closures continuing to impact the Midwest, the South, in the north parts of the Rust Belt and the Northeast, this is going to put a drag on the economy. According to NBCNews.com, Tyson plant, they make much of the chicken nuggets and meats that we love, or some people love, closes prompt economic soul searching in the Ozarks. So this is in Missouri, the Boot Hill country of Missouri, and the Ozarks of Arkansas. They shut down this meat plant, Tyson factory meat plant. Some ex-employees, quote, have already landed new jobs elsewhere. That's great. But policymakers are just starting to sort out what comes next for their community. So now we have the manufacturing plants closing in the food area. When it starts closing in these critical infrastructure areas like food, auto manufacturing, utilities, stuff like that, when you get these plants closing, that's hurting middle America, hurting, middle-class America. This is where the rubber meets the road. And so one of the workers said, quote, if I'm going to go someplace else, especially if I'm going to get anything that pays more than $10 or $12 an hour, I'm going to have to drive 45 minutes to an hour. This is the problem, too. A lot of us that live in suburbia, exurbs, hinterland, and, some of the rural communities have to drive up to an hour. Some people are commuting 2 hours one way out in California and other places to get decent work that pays like they would find when these plants shut down. And so this is one of the dangers when we ship your manufacturing out. When you ship all your things out, it takes at least 10 to 15 years to bring that back to America's shores and back to the Western Hemisphere in general, with the NAFTA free trade agreement that President Clinton signed a long time ago, cooperative with Mexico and Canada, etc., Central America. And they took all the plants, auto plants, and pulled them down into Mexico and all that. It takes 10 to 15 years to rebuild that. And this is what we're seeing here. Even if you replace it with robots and AI, it takes a long time to recover for that. And as you can see, Tyson is just one of the plants that closed down. The North Little Rock, Arkansas plant in early October, and other plants that have been closing out. And gasoline is going up too. Now, this is in Arkansas. This plant in Arkansas says, well, the average price of gasoline in Arkansas is at $3.03 a gallon. That's cheaper, 22 cents cheaper than it was a year ago. But if you're driving, an hour and 30 minutes one way, coming back to your house and going, gas tends to go out pretty fast. And that's not counting how much the gas is being dewatered by the ethanol they put into it. They dilute it and stuff. So it goes faster. So that's what we're looking at. The next Fed meeting, ladies and gentlemen, is in December. This will be the last Fed meeting. December 12th through the 13th is the dates here, as you can see. And many experts expect the Fed to, quote, hold rates. And I agree with that. I pretty much think they're going to just hold the rates. They're not going to raise the rates 25 basis points or anything because unless inflation continues to go out of control. And so this is what we have here. But next year, I expect continued rate hikes by the Fed. People think they're going to pivot. I don't think so. With this inflation is still high. Many of you know inflation is high in food, transportation, utilities. and travel, and it will continue to spread to other areas of this economy, and that's going to cause a lot of these cities, municipalities, and townships to raise taxes. Maybe not property taxes, but they're going to raise some taxes in other areas: gas taxes, penny taxes, special district taxes. All that's going to be going up next year in the President Biden's final year. Hooray here! Before the election season, and that's going to cause people to have very miserable outlooks for the United States, unfortunately. But we will survive. That's the good news, and the good news is we will survive. God, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, but it's just going to be more of a slowdown and more of a painful transition as this economy transitions to a technocratic, autocratic economy away from a service-based economy that we've been used to for the last 50 or 60 years here in America. So be blessed. Try to get out, get some fresh air. Enjoy your weekend, wherever you may be in this world. Thank you for listening. Please be sure to subscribe, and I appreciate your support here on the Preach to Me channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.